Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing an 8.5 by 11 layout for Series 19, Christie's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, and today's sketch was created by me. So I'm going to change up my own sketch. I'm not even going to follow it the way that it is. It's pretty close, but the three photos that I end up using are 4 by 6, and I'm going to trim them down, but I'm not able to trim them down as small as I probably would like them to be for an 8.5 by 11 layout. But it's going to be fairly close, and I like the way the layout turns out. As you can see, I have pictures of my nephew dressed as Winnie the Pooh. So I brought out the Winnie the Pooh collection, but I also want to add Halloween to it. Since my sister is holding him, she has a Halloween sweatshirt on. You can see there's another little girl in the photo, and she was dressed up as Dorothy. That's my other niece, my brother's daughter. And I wanted to include a little bit more of the blue in it, but also the orange. So I'm going to make all of it work together, and it was a challenge. So I brought out whatever I could find of Halloween that had a lot of orange and black because I figured black will be an easy one to add in and kind of make the colors more marry together easily. I brought in the black and white stripe since I used blue and white stripe on the sketch example. And then I have this yellow from the Winnie the Pooh collection, the teal from this candy collection, or Halloween collection. This was the photo play collection, and these are some of the scraps that I have left over. Like I said, I have quite a few scraps of the Halloween from photo play, but I do not have any more stickers. So it's okay if I use up those papers, and I do get quite a few of them used up. This one here is an orange mixed media type paper, and that was very thin. It is from Paper Lane, I believe is what that's called. It was Joanne's brand. It was from Paper Pad, so it's very thin, and I'm gonna layer it up on top of the photo play candy paper. And I was okay with using that whole sheet because, like I said, I don't have any more stickers, and it's kind of a harder paper to use, anyways, with all of the candies on it. But I do like it for this layout, so I decided just to go ahead and use it. I have about a half an inch border all the way around the layout. I cut the photos, or two of the photos, I cut down to 3.25 by 3.25. The little journaling candy spot I cut down to 2.5 by 2.5, I believe. It might be 3 by now. It's got to be 2.5 by 2.5. And then the other photo is 3.25 by 4.25, I believe. I definitely couldn't cut that one down anymore because I didn't want to cut my sister out. Since there's not very many photos of her with her kids or even with my kids, because her and I both dodge the camera like crazy. So we're not in a lot of the photos with our kids, but we were definitely there. So anytime you get a good photo, and I like this photo of her and I think she will approve of it, I'm going to go ahead and keep it in. So I'm going to lay my photos exactly the same way they are in the sketch, except for the one in the middle. Since it is larger, I'm going to put it on the left-hand side where I showed the journaling would go. And instead, I'm going to put the littler 2.5 by 2.5 square in the middle of the two photos on the right-hand side. So hopefully that made sense. And I am putting them at a slight angle, the same way I did in the sketch. I just like the way that looks. Usually it's a little bit easier to lay them down at an angle versus straight up and down. And I had to move that one up a little bit more because I do know that the cluster down at the bottom of that photo is going to be fairly large. I'm going to pop up the little journaling square on foam, and that's just because it's in between the photos, and I didn't want it to, you know, kind of show a little wrinkling because it is in between those two photos, and they are a little bit on the thicker side. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one down right there in the middle. I'm using ATG, and then I also use liquid glue, which is Scotch Tacky Glue is the glue that I use, and I refill that fine liner bottle. So here, I'm just going to put this one here, and I'm not going to add the journaling on screen. I will add, it'll probably just be journaling strips, and then I might add a little bit more journaling down at the bottom. There's a space for journaling down there also if I need more than what that little square provides. But either way, I'll get the journaling down. Um, the one tag I covered up, it said something on it, but I didn't really want that saying on it. So I covered it up with the other tag and just layered it up. And it says it's always an adventure with you, which I just thought was kind of cute. And then the little Winnie the Pooh die cut. I added string, the baker's twine black and white, to that tag also. And then I'm going to put another little flower cluster up here, kind of by his head. And it was perfectly cut where I wasn't covering up anything in the photo. And then I'm going to add that little chipboard ghost. And as you can see, I'm peeling the chipboard pieces apart so they're not very thick. And then this little candy corn is going to go tucked in up here. I'm going to tuck in one more down by you, the word you, which is part of my title piece, or what I'm using as my title piece. I'm going to put one more flower down here on the right hand side in the corner of the photo. And again, it's not really covering anything up. They had taken his Winnie the Pooh costume off, and my mom decided to give him uh, a sucker. And he's only, I believe he's 5. Yeah, he would have been about 5 months old, 4 months old. Yeah, because he was born in June, and this is his very first Halloween. So, and he only got a little couple of licks of the sucker, but anyways, my sister was totally fine with it. That's something that happens when he's child number 4. So yes, he was given a sucker at 4 months old, and it was not the end of the world. He survived. He loved the sucker, and he loves food. So as you can see, he's not lacking any meals. He's little chunkers. And he was so cute in his little Winnie the Pooh outfit. And I put that little chipboard ghost up here at the top along with that little cluster. I just thought it looked so cute up there by the journaling spot. And I am going to tilt the journaling box a different way when you see it in the final photos. I'm not sure if I do it on screen or not. I just decided I liked it tilted the other way. Oh, actually, I'm going to do it right now. And I was able to move it. Oh, no, it gets moved more than that. I didn't do it on screen. You'll see it in the close-ups though. But I think it turned out really cute, and it definitely was a good little mix of Halloween and Winnie the Pooh. So there you go. Here's a few close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout. And if you're playing along with my sketch, please tag me on Instagram or Facebook. I would love to see it. Thanks for coming by. See you in the next video. Bye.